Hello guys, welcome to the next part of the tutorial of object tracking. So what we did in first part, we tracked our object in the Syntheyes, and here is our project file. Let me open it and show you. And okay, here we are. We have object that's moving just like the hat of our hero, and from here you can clearly see the shape of the hat, which is this cylindrical, and even we can try it with the cylinder. Make sure that you are in the object mode, not in the camera, and if you are in the wrong mode and you see the camera here, your trackers will be blue, and if you see that your trackers are green, it means you are in the right mode. Now you can go to the object creation panel. You can choose the cylinder and pick this one and start drawing the cylinder shape and finalize your cylinder. And now your cylinder is linked to this object because you were in the object mode. Let's bring it up and let's rotate it just like our hat. Like this. Maybe the radius needs to be a little bit bigger. Okay. Now when we play, we see that the cylinder sticks to the head quite nice, honestly. And maybe we need to make it bigger, much bigger. But let's make it 40. And let's move it back like this. Yeah, right now, and I guess we need to move it a little bit. Like this. Okay. I guess our track is fine now. So after this part, if you're okay with the track, you can export it again, but we exported it in previous tutorial, then that's why I'm see that, and I'm using the one which I exported in the part 1. So what I need to do is just drag this script, my script file, and drop to my scene, and here I see my camera and my object also with the helpers, the points. And now as I move my time slider, I can see that this thing is moving just like my head. Okay, by pressing this button, going to the display panel and hiding helpers, I'm able to see only the object, but the helpers is just helping us to determine where should we put our mask. So first, let me speak about the process which we're gonna do. So I have a mask which is already ready, and maybe I can make another bonus tutorial about how to give realistic materials to our objects, because my gas mask is already ready. And because it's not a tutorial about materials, I'm just assume that you have a model which is okay for you. So I'm going to File, Import, choose Merge, and import your gas mask. Okay, it's a little bit small, and I'm gonna scale it. Let's fix the pivot, because my pivot is here. Let's go to Affect Pivot Only and choose Center to Object. Now I can scale it from the center. Okay. Now let's assume that it's my head, we can put it like this, link my to the little bit down, something like this. And now I need to attach my gas mask, link my gas mask to this object, so that when this box moves, my gas mask moves too. So press this button, select and link, and choose the gas mask and drag, drop to the box. Okay, now when we press play, we're gonna see that our gas masks moves with the box. I guess it's too fast right now. Let's see if it's real time and make sure that it's 1x. Okay, now let's play. Now the speed is right, and we need to watch from the camera, so we press button C and we see our gas mask. But in order to make sure it's really on the place, we need to see the image that we worked on. So for this, we're gonna go to our JPEGs, and here we have IFL file, which is created by Syntheyes, or we can use it, we can just import any of these images and choose sequence. Let's do this. Let's take this file and drag and drop to our scene and choose first one, like I want this image to be in the viewport background, and press OK. Okay, and now I can see that I can see the face like this, and I think I need to make it a little bit smaller like this. Okay, a little bit to the right. Maybe a little bit back. Okay. And maybe a little bit down like this. Okay. Okay, cool. Now let's see how to render this so that it really feels like it sits on the boy's face. So first let's determine how the lighting works. So let's hide this for a moment. Let's go here and select geometry and helpers. And when I look to this image and I see that light comes from the left side, because left side, this side of the face is bright and this part of the face is dark. So I understand that the light comes from the left side and also from these plastic things on these fingers. So when I look to this image, I understand that lights come from this side. So it means we need to create lights, or if we use the HDR image, we need to turn our HDR, and that way that the lights in the HDR are in the left, in this side. So let's just create a basic setup. Let's unhide all and set up rendering. So I'm gonna render this with the Corona render. Okay. Cool. Let's make it a little bit smaller. So that it doesn't take too much. And for the lightning, I'm going to use HDR image. So let's import HDR here. Select any of the materials and press Get Material button. Go down and choose Corona bitmap. And find the HDR you want to use. So I'm gonna use this one. Okay. And now I press button 8 to open the viewport and drag this HDR to the environment slot. Now let's activate the Corona Interactive. Standard viewports and Corona Interactive. Let's press to activate it and choose the viewport we want to render. Press this lock so that when we change our viewport, the render doesn't change. So the materials are a little bit messy right now. Let's just ignore the materials for now. Let's just duplicate it and make everything gray for now. And make it Corona material so that we can control it, the reflections and other things. Okay, and right now I see that lights is not coming from this side, so let's turn the HDR. Actually, I don't see anything here. I don't know why. Because I turned off all the materials, that's why. Okay, now I see that the light source is near this part, so I need to turn. Now let's see. Okay, we're getting close. Okay, guess this is fine. Let's remove the reflections. So as you see in my real image, the lights here, so this part of the gas mask have lights. Okay, not like this. Yeah, something like this. Cool. And I just don't like the thing that I see my HDR in my background. So to fix it, I do this. I open my JPEGs and take this FL file and drag and drop this to my material editor. And this way it opens as a material here. And I need only this texture. So I take this, replace the material, choose instance. Now I have it as a texture. So I open my render setup. I go to my scene tab in my Corona render, and here I can see direct visibility override. I turn it on, and now I can choose the color which I want, but I don't want a color, I want an image. So I take this image and send it here, choose instance, and now I see my image in my background. So this is good, and now let's replace the original materials and try to fix them. This was the original materials of my gas mask, let's replace them and fix the issue switch here, which is tiled. So I just take this, let me do it quickly, and I'll create a bonus tutorial for you about creating realistic materials. So just I'll do it quickly. So let's replace reflection glossiness here. and turn off the bump. Okay, let's see. Maybe I need to turn down the reflections because it's too much right now. Okay. Okay, but now I don't see my face here. From this part I see my face, but from the back side of the glass I see my HDR image. So how do we fix it? And the mask doesn't look like it's there, and I see the back part of this gas mask. Really, have a look close. So I see that my head, inside of my head, is empty, and I see this back part from here because my head is empty. To have a feel that it's really there, we need to import a head model. Any head model will work, but it's better to have a shape, overall shape like this, like your hero's head. So let's see where I'm gonna put the link to this model, and you can use your own, but you can use mine too. So I have this head model. I just throw it in my scene. So here is the head, but it's not smooth. Let's convert it to edit and just select all the polygons and choose auto smooth. Let's see if it works. No, it didn't work. Sometimes it works when we just drop edit poly on the top of this. And now, as you see, it worked. Okay, let's add just turbo smooth 1 iterations to make it smoother. And now let's put it right where the real head is. So I'm just take align it to the gas mask and choose align orientation to align it to make the head look where the gas mask looks. And now let's scale it. Let's a little bit. Okay, cool. I guess we can make it a little bit bigger because I want head to touch the back side of the gas mask. Okay. This works fine, I guess. Now let's attach the head to the gas mask so that when I move the gas mask, head moves too. Okay, cool. So now I can see my head model inside of this, but I don't want to see the head model. I want to see my hero's head. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna create a Corona shadow catcher material, and I'm gonna throw it to the head. And now I can choose either color or the image, and I'm gonna use this image, which I put to the background in environment backplate. Choose instance, and right now I can see my hero's face just like it's inside of this gas mask. Oh my god. Let's open it again. I hope I have an autosave ready. If not, it would be too bad. Let's see, it's opening. Let's see if it's preserved in AutoBack. Yes, it works. Let's open the AutoBack file. I hope yours doesn't crash. Let's see if it's moving. Yeah, cool. Let's activate our Corona render and let's do it again. Let's create Corona shadow catcher material. Let's throw it here and choose our background image sequence as the environment map here. And now I'm getting the shadows right, and I'm getting my hero's face seen inside of this gas mask. But because my head is rounded, I can't get quite this result that it sits on the head of the hat. But if you want, you can just create a cylinder just like the hat and add it to your hero's head, and you just rotate it and put it where our hero's hat is. Scale it. Yeah, something like this. Let's rotate it and see from another angle. But first, don't get to attach this hat object to the head. Yes, I need to scale it a little bit, like this, and move it down. Okay. Let's see it from different angle. Okay, it's cool. Now we can do this. We can just lower the polygon size count and turn it to editable poly, inset it and give a turbo smooth. Let's delete this one polygon, bottom polygon, and give a turbo smooth to have a nice smooth result, and give this same shadow catcher material to our hat too. And now what we need to do is to fix our gas mask to be just like to wrap the hat. So what I'm gonna do is go to the polygon mode, vertex mode, choose the vertex, and I'm gonna use soft selection to move not only this but the vertices which is around it. Okay. Yeah, something like this. I'm doing it roughly so that you can get the idea. Okay, and now we need to just move these vertices. Okay, cool. Maybe fix these parts. Because these parts go inside the head. Okay, now we can see that it goes around our head. and maybe we just scale our head a little bit down. So as you see, real cool. And now what I'm gonna do, I need to render it. Because I want to give a motion blur or add some little color correction to it, I need to render it separately. So if I press render right now, I will get entire image. And if I choose the alpha, I can see that the alpha of this head and hat model too. So I can't use this as for compositing right now. To be able to use it in a compositing, we need to change a few things. The first one we need to change is the properties of the shadow catcher material. You can see here the text alpha model, and it writes always solid. We can change it either for compositing or always transparent. If we use it always transparent, we don't have any alpha in these objects. Let's see. Now it's completely empty. But we don't want that. We need to change it to the for compositing. Okay, let's choose the beauty again and press render. When you see the beauty, you just don't see any difference. But when you change to the alpha, you're gonna see that we have nice shadows of our gas mask, but no alpha in the object where the hat is. So it looks real cool. Let's render the frames. Let's open the After Effects. And another tip for you, for instance, if you have an image which has the full HD resolution, just like mine. Let's open it. For instance, look at this image. It has a resolution of 1920 to 1080, but it's not as sharp as 3D image rendering. So if you render your image with this size, you will need to downsize your 3D rendering in the compositing to match it. That's why I'm not wasting my resources. I'm just rendering it small and then scale it in the After Effects so that the quality of my render is my quality of the video. Okay, my rendering I guess is done. So let's save it as a PNG file, and I'm at 68 frame 68. So let's open it and import my JPEGs. Choose sequence and make sure your frame rate is 25 and frame 68 is gonna be 2 seconds, and 2 seconds will be 50 frames, and 2 seconds and 18 frame. This frame. I'm gonna import my PNG, which is rendered right now, and I'm gonna drag and drop on the top of this image. And as you see, my rendering is small, and now I'm making it bigger, like 200%. And now I see it's exactly there. Let's turn it on and off. You can see clearly the shadows of my gas mask is visible here, and also the shadows of these belts which is hitting the head. Let's turn it on and off. No shadows, and the shadows of these belts, and it gives the realism to our scene. So what you need to do is just render it all and add it to the After Effects, and I'm gonna show you how to achieve realism. So see you in the next tutorial, and have a nice day. Goodbye.